The budget still contains a structural deficit. We have built-in expenses that are growing at a faster rate than our revenues. That is a hole that we're going to have to dig ourselves out of.
Even before she was elected, Mayor Lisa Brown sounded the alarm the city was facing a multi-million-dollar cliff. Just days ago, we learned just how bad the situation is. Mayor Brown says the city's deficit sits around $50 million across all city accounts. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy sat down one-on-one with the mayor to find out how we got here and what it could mean for you.
Brown says her new chief financial officer and consultants started taking a deep dive into the budget shortly after she took office. That's when they discovered the deficit was double what she originally believed. When Spokane City Council passed then Mayor Nadine Woodward's 2024 budget in December, there were already signs of trouble. Councilmember Michael Cathcart called the budget technically balanced, but alluded to gaps down the road. Now we know that gap is a $50 million canyon across all city accounts. How did we get here?
Yes, well, this didn't happen overnight.
Mayor Lisa Brown says part of it is inflation, but more significantly, she says, was the approval of a series of collective bargaining contracts over the last few years by Mayor Woodward's administration and City Council.
And at that point in time, they guaranteed cost of living increases and essentially a level of expenses that was not matched by the revenue coming in.
Brown says one-time federal funds were used to pay for ongoing expenses. Projections of revenues from things like sales tax and utility rates, which increase annually around 3%, haven't kept up with rocketing expenses.
Expenses that is growing faster than that, more like 5 or 6% a year. So that doesn't sound like a lot in terms of percentage, but it opens up a gap of millions of dollars, and that gap will just continue to grow.
Brown says waiting to cut costs could mean impacts to everyday services like street maintenance, water, and garbage. What is the likelihood that people will see impacts to some of those services?
Well, actually what I said to City Council yesterday is that's what we want to avoid, and that's why we're coming to them right now. We put a set of reductions on the table.
She says the most likely move, cutting vacant city positions and restructuring departments. Her administration will also look at skipping cost of living increases or implementing unpaid leave for some city workers.
Now, we can do that at the leadership level and impose that, but for most of city government, they are in collective bargaining contracts, and so that would require negotiations and conversations with those bargaining units.
There is also talk of taking the issue to voters.
I feel I need to be honest with the community, given the public safety needs that we have and the desire, I believe, to maintain, if not improve, current levels of street repair and snow plowing in the winter. I believe that it's likely that I will bring forward a public safety and community resilience levy.
Brown says City Council will have the say on a levy going to the ballot, but she says it may be a necessary step to avoid draconian cuts to services and jobs. The levy possibility will be brought forward and discussed over the next month or two. A budget reevaluation will happen in June. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.